Good evening to all. Thank all of you for taking the time to come and visit with us and listen to the things that are going to be discussed tonight that affect your community. And I appreciate your effort and engagement with it. If you have any comments or anything, we appreciate it. The commission is present here today to take public testimony and comments on a proposed voluntary settlement agreement between the town of Washington and Rappahannock County. The proposed agreement covers the annexation of 4 acres into the town, restrictions on development, and other related matters. The notice of this PSA was filed with the commission on November the 20th of 2023. I'd like at this moment to just introduce the commission. I am Ed Rosado, Chair of the Commission.
Diane Lindeman, Commission Member.
Robert Waterberg, Vice Chairman.
Everything commission.
Did I hear LeBron and Andrew?
So, hi, my name is LeGrand Northcutt. I'm staff of the commission, and Andrew Malloy also staff of the commission. And Mr. Chair,
Let me provide you an opportunity to go in. Or do you have something?
well, we have a fifth commissioner, Commissioner Johnson. He said that he will be joining virtually, but he may not be able to make this meeting. So, Andrew, you just let us know if he jumps on. So we do have a fifth member, but it's not present. So thank you.
Do you have the floor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you all for coming out for this public hearing. As I mentioned, my name is LeGrand Northcutt, staff for the commission, and the commission is here today to review the negotiated voluntary settlement agreement between the town and the county prior to its presentation to a court for ultimate disposition. As part of its review, the commission is holding these hearings. It's making investigations, analyzing local needs, and making other findings of fact and recommendation regarding the issues that the chair just discussed. Specifically, we are required by law to hold a public hearing for public input on the proposed agreement, which is why we're here tonight. Pursuant to the statutes governing the commission's review, the commission will use the public input gathered from this hearing in its report and will determine whether the proposed settlement agreement is in the best interest of the Commonwealth of Virginia. The activities that we have had to date, on November the 20th, the town and county jointly filed a notice with the commission stating the town intended to annex a portion of the county into the town, and they requested the commission to review and issue findings of voluntary settlement agreement. Prior to our arrival here today, we received notice that each local body had adopted a resolution and adopted the agreement. We received a copy of the proposed agreement and a narrative supporting the agreement, and we received indication that copies of the notice, the proposed agreement, and the narrative supporting the agreement were mailed to each local governments that share border or function or tax revenue with either the town or the county. Earlier today, we also received oral presentations from the town and the county in support of this agreement. We are here now to hold the required public hearing on this matter. All of those agreements and all of that documentation, also a recording public hearing, are on file with the commission. If you'd like to view those, or I can email them to you, just come to me afterwards. I can give you a card or take down your information. So, all of those materials have been reviewed by the commission, and the commission reserves the right to, at any time during the course of its review, solicit additional data and documents and records or other materials from the parties as deemed necessary for proper analysis. For the purpose of this public hearing, we will take oral testimony tonight. We will also receive written testimony up until 2 weeks from today. That's June 30th, 2020. Sorry, June 3rd, 2020. So if you'd like to send in written comments, you can do so before that date. The commission will take all of that under advisement and will issue a report to the town and the county on July 12th, 2024. Additional details regarding future meetings of the commission, both regular and special, will be announced on the Virginia Regulatory Town Hall website for the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Mr. Northcutt. If at this moment, I'd like to see if any of the commissioners have any comments on the opening statements. Hearing none, I'm going to read to you some of the rules that we abide by and ask that you all abide by during these proceedings. Excuse me, all members of the public are expected to behave with civility and respect at all times during the proceedings, while giving public comment and while in the audience. All comments should be addressed to the chair and commissioners. Members of the public should not respond directly to the comments of other participants. Comments should be germane and relevant to the voluntary settlement agreement and other issues being considered by the commission. Members of the public should limit their comments to 5 minutes each. We appreciate if you need a little longer, we'll have patience. Where possible, please appoint one spokesperson to represent the views of any related parties. Excuse me, the commissioners are present to listen to public comments and take notes to inform their upcoming decisions. Commissioners will not respond to comments at this meeting. The members of the public may submit written comments to the commission staff at the proceedings or by mail, postmarked on or before the day of the close of the record for this case, which was mentioned by Mr. Northcote. The written comments can be emailed to LeBron Northcote at DHCD, These rules have been adopted pursuant to 1 Virginia 50-20-630 and are subject to change without notice. The chair reserves the right to rule testimony irrelevant, immaterial, or unduly presented. Thanks for listening to the rules. So with that, we're going to ask for the first speaker to identify themselves and feel free to come to the podium.
So the first person we have registered is Eve Brooks. You would,
You want me all the way up here? I can be very brief. I am a resident of Sperryville, so I'm a resident of the county and not the town. And I just want to tell you, we'd like you to recommend this to the board. It's an agreement that I think represents the desires of all citizens here. It makes so much sense to do this, and it gives us an opportunity to develop some needed facilities here in the county that we would not otherwise have. I want to thank Mr. Ashley for making this all possible, and for our board of supervisors who worked hard on this, and the members of the board of the council of the town. I also want to thank Betsy Neal for working so hard. It's happened. So thank you very much, and you have my support, and I believe others.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
next we have Alvin Henry.
Welcome. Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. Last time I've seen you all was in the town of Newmarket. And it's gonna be a lot nicer meeting tonight. I've lived in the county since 1980. I've been on the planning commission here, I think in excess of 20 years. Used to be a lender in the county, so I've been very familiar with the county. Rappahannock County has very limited utilities in the county. We only have the village of Sperryville that has simple sewer. The rest of the county has no water, no sewer, other than the town portion, which have water and sewer, which is needed for any type of commercial residential use. The county is, as you know, is very close to the metropolitan area of Northern Virginia, and that area has been experiencing great growth. Rappahannock County, since the Civil War, has gone from 12,000 people to about 7,200 people. So it kind of opposite trend, and a lot of that is due because many years ago in zoning, it was decided not to have a lot of zoning other than agriculture and conservation in the county. So we have limited areas where we can do housing, we can do commercial buildings, office buildings, things like this. And this property here, in my 40 years of being in the county, the only thing that I've seen this property produce back in the 1980s, it produced really good barbecue sandwich. That was all this property ever done. So this is a great use of this property, a food bank, a social services building, some much needed housing that's more affordable here in the county, much needed. And this fulfills a lot of needs. It's gonna be a very attractive addition. It's gonna be an addition to the tax base. And that's another thing in the county. We have very limited growth in our tax base. We don't have any, major industries in the county. And basically, on the planning commission, I tell people that our major part of our tax base each year is the building of large homes. And that's really increased our tax base. So this is a nice addition. It's gonna help a lot of people. It's gonna be very attractive and we're all gonna be proud of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So then you have the speaking, you can have one for them.
That is the end of the pre-registered.
Okay, anyone that's not pre-registered and like to speak? You ready now? Oh, sure. Come on up. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Drew Mitchell, and I'm the adjacent neighbor to the Rush River Commons. I'm over in Avon Hall, just down the hill. And I support this 100%. So, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear from someone who's totally affected, right next door.
Yeah.
John Beardsley, I'm a county resident and have been here since 1980. The single point I'd like to make is that our comprehensive plan calls for developing the villages. Because of the zoning that Al Henry talked about, a lot of the counties reserve for agricultural and conservation uses. We have limited opportunities for development. And this is consistent with the aims of the comprehensive plan, which calls for densifying the villages. So I think it makes a lot of sense to incorporate this into the town so we can be connected to town water and sewer systems, and also provide much needed additional residential and commercial space. So thank you. I support it.
Appreciate your standing up. Anyone else would like to say a few words in support or anyone opposed? Not asking for a vote. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Caroline Anstey. I'm chair of the Town of Washington Planning Commission. But I think I'm really speaking as personal capacity. I think we've all in the town spent a lot of time working with Chuck Ackrey and the team on Rush River 1, which is already in the town, and now Rush River 2. And we've gone through all with a fine tooth comb. We've thought about the pros and the cons. And I think the pros well outweigh the cons. So I want to also say, as a resident of Little Washington, it has my whole parties.
I appreciate the testimony of everyone that came up. I'd like to say a few words regarding the proposal and the annexation request, and the way that this afternoon was explained to us, the different, ways that it was begun and then morphed into something a little different and then changed by all the members of the community right here who were listening, watching, and telling your elected officials is what we want to do. I think, in my opinion, to include workforce housing in the sense that you have had there for people who need to be able to have a place to live in this area and serve your businesses here is very, very important. And I think it was a wise choice for all of you to have made to be able to include a portion of the changes that would include housing for people of need and people who are of low income that are the workers and that provide services to all of those who come to visit you. It's a very large tourist area. You need help, you need helpers, you need workers, and you need to be able to provide a place for them. And I think you have you have really good understanding of that. And you look toward the future and say, this is how we're going to address this. And I think this plan so far, in my opinion, would do very well and enhances the Commonwealth interests. So, I'd like to, thank all of you for coming over and, to all of the leaders who provided and worked with the process and massaged it, changed it and listened to what they needed to listen to, and, do what they had to do. So my congratulations to all of you. The record will be open for the receipt of additional written comment. Now, before I start that, I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything, any of the members? Good. Hey, did the assessor ever make it on? Did he ever make it
I think the
on?
document's online, so if he wants to comment here briefly.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, there she is.
Thanks for allowing me to be a part of the proceedings.
If, I was just asking the rest of the commissioners if they had any comment, anything they'd like to say before I close the meeting. So if you have anything, this is your shining moment.
I just want to thank all of you all for taking your civic responsibility seriously. This is your community. We appreciate your input and thank you all for the opportunity to serve you in this great capacity.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Again, the record will be open for receipt of additional written comments from the public to close of business June the 3rd. If you desire to submit a written comment or staff will be available at this time. As I mentioned in the beginning, the commission will endeavor to submit the report on or before July the 12th. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
It has been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.